Speaking of beautiful and talented, Tiffany, first up this morning, if you're a fan of author James Rollins and his international thrillers, the Sigma series, then you're going to be happy to know that you could join him and 37 other authors in a huge room full of book lovers. How cool does that sound?
So cool. The Barbara Vay Reader Appreciation Luncheon is coming up, and here with us with more is Barbara herself. She's a contributing editor for Publishers Weekly, along with Dianna Love, a New York Times best-selling author. Thanks for being here, both of you.
Thanks for having us.
Nice to have you.
Oh, thank you.
This is for you.
Oh, in your spare time.
Thank you.
You gotta have
to
books.
read.
Always need a good book to lay down and snuggle up with. Very cool.
But is this a book?
Oh, that's a keeper case. That's a new thing for people who read e-books because they have nothing to be signed. So I started a program last year. A lot of authors are now doing where that we have the covers printed and on the back, sign it and give them something to keep on their
I've
keeper
never
shelf.
seen that. That's a great
neat.
idea because you're right. People who read their books electronically now want a different way to have an author sign their work. That's great.
Yeah, and there's a list of authors on my website that do that.
How do you get so many big-time authors for this event? I mean, because these are not just people who are local. We've got a lot of great local writers here, but these are people from all over.
They are. They're New York Times bestselling authors from all over the United States. And the reason is because for the last 6 years I've been writing for Publishers Weekly. I do a blog for them and on books. And I've met a lot of authors over the years and have gotten relationships with them. And I'm all about the readers. I'm a real reader advocate. So when I tend to when I call up authors, they tend to say yes. I'm very fortunate. I'm very fortunate. And we have some amazing authors. More than half of them are New York Times best-selling authors. And I brought a little cheat sheet so I can look at this. Of course, Dianna Love, Marjorie Liu, who not only, she is an amazing paranormal urban fantasy author. You had her on last year, but she also writes for Marvel Comics. She's one of the few women that writes.
I remember that.
Right, and she just wrote that newest X-Men comic. So she's, as a matter of fact, her table sold out immediately to all men. And
interesting.
I believe that. She's a big deal.
She is a really big deal. And we have Carla Negers, who writes thrillers, Simone Elkes, who does young adult books, Sharon Sala, who writes great women's fiction and romantic suspense, Eloisa James, who writes historicals, Eileen Dreyer, who writes historicals, Cherry Adair, and Allison Leota, and I want to say her because she's fairly new. She's got 2 books out, but she's a federal prosecutor from Washington, D.C. She prosecutes domestic violence cases and abuse cases. One of the most fascinating women I have ever met. And the great thing about this luncheon is that when they buy a ticket for the luncheon, it's not just the luncheon. The first hour is a meet and greet, so they get to meet all the authors, talk to all of them, you know. And
so even if you're not at the table, because one of them you mentioned is already sold out, which is fantastic. Even if you don't get to that table, you can still meet all the authors in that meet and greet.
Right, and we encourage that. We encourage people to go around and talk to them, get things signed. We're having a big book signing afterwards. James is doing the keynote, but another event that I'm doing especially for the readers is because we have such a big turnout and a lot of the authors are coming in the night before. At the hotel they have an auditorium, so we're going to do a Q&A the night before, free to the public, open to the public.
So cool.
6:30 at the Crown Plaza Hotel on 13th and College. The night before. Everyone's welcome. And then we'll do a Q&A with the authors, and then they can meet them there too, because I think the Milwaukee area really needs something like this. And a lot of the authors were excited to come because a lot of them told me, oh, I've never been to Milwaukee. I've always wanted to come there.
Well, we've got some great viewers and avid readers who love all the stuff you do. Your luncheon's always so popular. Why were you so excited to be a part of it, Dianna?
You know, I've met Barbara years back in the business, and I've loved meeting readers. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love the fact that she has YA also, because now I have a new YA series under the name Micah Kata, and Simone Elkes is
YA is youth.
I'm sorry, young adult.
Young adult.
Yeah. And Simone Elkes is like an international best-selling young adult. She's very funny, and I just love it. I love hanging out with the, you know, my table is already sold out too, but I'm going to spend time.
Girl.
Yeah, sold out first.
Is it all men?
My table sold out first.
I sold out first.
We're a tie.
Yeah, is it all men?
Yeah. Oh, I've got a mix.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, but because my thriller series is I have a big male following for that. But no, it's just wonderful. You get this opportunity to spend one-on-one time, and it's not under the pressure of when you're in a big signing and people are waiting in line. You only get so much time to talk to them. I move all over the room, and they know it. They know when they come in that I'm going to hang out with them.
What's something interesting that one of your avid readers has asked you in the past? Like, what do they want to know? What's something that a question you've been asked where you thought, oh, that's a really good question?
Oh, you know, they want to know where the ideas come from for like the big world building. I build huge worlds. If it's in thrillers, it's a high concept world, or if it's in paranormal urban fantasy. One of them was about the gargoyle that's in the Bellador series, Phoenix, because they love it. He's a little pet 2-foot tall gargoyle. But they want to know where these ideas, and you know, when you start explaining that this part is true mythology and this part is mixed in, they ask the strangest questions sometimes, though.
Have you ever gotten ideas from readers for future writing? I always wonder how much of what they give you, because readers have very strong opinions about what should be in your next book, or what your character should do or say, or who you should kill off in a book, or any of those things. Do you ever take any of those suggestions and incorporate them?
Actually, you know, I have to be careful not to do that, because then you get into who wrote the book and whose idea it was. And the truth is, I have more ideas than I'll write in a lifetime.
Yeah.
I think that's so cool that people have this opportunity right here in Milwaukee.
I love coming here.
Oh, thank you, because I can tell you're not from here.
I'm from Atlanta. How could you tell? Because you're the ones with the accent.
Because you say olive oil. You say owl, right? Do you say owl?
I can tell you're from Atlanta.
Funny because I kid Barbara about saying sorry.
Sorry. I'm so sorry to say that. Okay, it's great that people have the opportunity. Dianna's table sold out, but there are a lot of great authors whose tables are not sold out, and you can still meet Dianna if you go to this event. The Reader Appreciation Lunch is going on April 27th, and what you need to do is visit Barbara's website. It's barbaravayreaders.com. And should we mention the cost of this lunch and just people know?
If you can get a general admission ticket where you can sit anywhere there's an open seat, it's only $40, which covers the luncheon.
Okay.
So I try to keep the cost really low so a lot of people can come. And it's a full, like I said, a full day event, and we have a lot of raffles that we do. All the money we make goes to the Cudahy Library this year. Next year we're going to give it to literacy. So and we're having door prizes. There's just tons of stuff.
Bags.
Oh, they get tote bags full of books.
Everybody likes gifts.
You get lots of gifts.
And thanks for our gifts, Dianna.
Thank
so
you.
nice.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Good to see you.